Right guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm going to be honest with you, I've had an absolute mare trying to film this one today. Camera died, not enough space on lap PC, so this is like my fourth go at doing this. So yeah, sorry it's late, I would have had it out a lot earlier, but yeah, I just not wanted to do it today as this. So obviously the big breaking news that you probably all heard by now is that Liverpool's owners FSG have agreed to sell a minority stake of the club to a US sports investment firm named Dynasty Equity. Now, I'm going to read bits of this article from James Pearce on The Athletic, and then I'll give you my opinion on it. Obviously, loads of hours have gone past. 7 hours since this came out has passed now since this all broke. So I've had a bit of time to think about it. So I'm going to give you like my initial reactions and then what I'm kind of thinking now. So anyway, James writes, FSG has sold a small stake in the club to American sports investment firm Dynasty Equity. The deal is worth between $100 million and $200 million. Based on Forbes' valuation of Liverpool, $4.3 billion, this represents a minority investment of between 1.9% and 3.8%. And then it goes on to say that the influx of this cash will be used by FSG to heavily reduce the bank debt and cover the cost of projects such as Annie Road stand redevelopment and the repurchasing of the Melwood training ground for the club's women's team. It will not result in a significantly enhanced transfer kitty for Jurgen Klopp. I do have a few thoughts on that. That's a little bit of a positive, but yeah. Senior FSG figures insist this is about managing the financial health of the club, and it brings to an end their long search for fresh investment. They are adamant that this is not a stepping stone towards the selling of the club. Now, first reactions to this, guys. This has to be like the most FSG investment that we could have expected, and by that I mean it's literally nothing. And it's not what like the fans would have expected, you know, like just to use it as a comparison, like we went into this summer expecting to sign Jude Bellingham, didn't we? It was put out everywhere that he was like the big target for the summer, Paul Joyce, yada yada yada, and then we pulled out of it due to finances basically. In hindsight, yeah, we went and signed Szoboszlai, McAllister and the rest of them, and we've had a really good start to the season. So, you know, I'm happy with that. You know, I've got the feeling back that we're going to have a really good season. I think we're going to probably win a couple of trophies this year. Who knows? I might be wrong, but I have the buzz back that I did kind of lose a little bit last year. And Szoboszlai has been probably, you've got to say, he's probably one of the signings of the season so far. And he's really living up to that number 8 shirt a lot better than Naby Keita did. Surely he's got to do a few more things with it. He's got to win some stuff with us, but what he's actually doing so far is a real positive. But again, just going back to what I said, we were told and sold a dream basically that we had all this money to spend this summer. And we spent a fair bit, fair enough. We went for Caicedo, 111 million or whatever it was. But if that had gone through, would we have signed Endo and Gravenberch? I don't know. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is we were sold that dream of Jude Bellingham. Didn't happen. Last year we were told that the club was looking for investments and, you know, potential sale, and the fans, you know, drove the excitement that we were going to sell to the Qataris, or we were going to sell to some rich billionaire who was going to put some money into the club, and we were going to be able to compete with City in the transfer market, not just on the field. And then we were told it was going to be a minority investor, and I thought it would be like maybe 10, 20, 25% of the club, you know, £500 million investment, and it's literally not even 5% that they've sold. And some people, you know, like even myself, I've thought this, like if you look at the figures that has actually come in to the club, right, they are saying it's going to go pay off the redevelopments and the purchasing of Melwood, right? Yeah, but if you look at the figures plus the players that we sold this year, that would mean that Liverpool still made £34 million profit on transfer this year, now that we've had this investment. It's just a very FSG thing to do, I think, and you just can't write it, honestly. It's like, and all these like journalists, like I've seen one earlier, doing a video on his YouTube channel, saying that there was never any interest from any of these billionaires to buy Liverpool, like from Qatar or Singapore or Dubai or whatever. What a load of absolute garbage, guys. Like, you're telling me that there was a queue of people waiting to buy Chelsea. There's two people that have got lots of money interested in buying Manchester United, but there was absolutely nobody interested in buying Liverpool Football Club, one of the biggest clubs in the world, one of the most renowned football clubs in the world, probably just behind like Madrid and Man United. Nobody was interested in buying that. I don't buy that for 1 second, guys. Like, I honestly do not believe that there wasn't anybody willing to buy him. What I think may have been the case is there were these people willing to buy it, but maybe FSG tried their luck a little bit and tried to get money that these people were not willing to pay. Just what the Glazers are doing now. They keep upping the price, don't they? But that's obviously all public with them being on the stock market. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes at Liverpool. But, I don't believe for 1 second that there was nobody interested in buying Liverpool. It doesn't wash with me. I'm sorry, it really doesn't. Now that I've had a few hours to think about all this, I'm not as negative. Like, it's money that's coming to the club. Right, fine. It's paying off these supposed developments, right? That's the club's got the debt. So yeah, it does say there that this money will not go towards transfers, but paying off this debt, you would think in the long term that would help raise more money for transfers in the future. Like, that's one way of looking at it. It's not like let's say a short-term goal that we would see. That's something potentially over a few years we might see. Now, we've only got a few years left of Jurgen Klopp if he doesn't sign a new extension, so I would rather see that money now rather than 2, 3, 4 years down the line. But if it's going to help the club, it helps the club. Anyway, the last bit I wanted to touch on here as well is where he says that they are adamant that this is not a stepping stone towards the selling of the club is absolute bollocks as well. Because you're telling me that Dynasty Equity have, out of the goodness of their heart, decided to give Liverpool some money and don't want anything back. They want their investment back and more. Otherwise, what's the point? So, to say that this is not a stepping stone towards the selling of the club, I think you could probably see the club selling. It might have delayed it in the short term, as I said again, but it might be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the line this happens. We might see more people starting to invest. Like, we're seeing a lot of American football players, NFL players, investing in clubs over here. We've got Tom Brady down at Birmingham. We've got, is it TJ Watt over at Burnley? These guys are not investing their money into these clubs on the off chance that they'll win something back. They're doing it because they know that if these clubs get back into the Premier League, or like I said, Burnley stays in the Premier League, that club's going to generate money, and then maybe 5, 6, 7, 10 years down the line, they're going to sell them clubs and they'll get more back for the money. That's why they're doing it. This is why Dynasty Equity is getting involved. They're doing it because they know down the line FSG is going to sell and they're going to get maybe double the money back. So to say that, again, to repeat myself, to say that this is not a stepping stone towards selling of the club, again, doesn't wash with me. And then when you look into Dynasty as a company as well, they've only been around a year, maybe not even that. It says here they got created last year, and one of the senior advisors at Dynasty is a vice chairman of FSG. So this deal probably wasn't that hard to sort out. Like, they know each other. So again, why is it taken so long to do? Why have we had to wait nearly a month after the transfer window closes for this to come out? it's all about PR, guys. Like, it really, really is. And I don't really want to start talking about negativity stuff anymore, because you know, I've not been making videos lately because there's not much to talk about, and then when this something comes out, I don't want to start talking negative about stuff, because at the end of the day, I shouldn't really be that bothered about what's going on in the back of, you know, other than what's going on with the squad. Do you know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't be becoming an accountant and doing this, that and the other and thinking about how much money we've got to spend. It should just be a case of, Liverpool want this player, can Liverpool afford him? Yes, no, right, move on. And I should just be happy with the success of the club. But we've seen it time and time over the years that Liverpool, and Jurgen Klopp especially, have missed out on players because of FSG being tight with the purse strings. Timo Werner, Donyell Marlin, just to name a couple. Jude Bellingham this year. Like, I don't for 1 second believe that he picked Real Madrid over us. I believe that he would have come to us had we paid the money, and we didn't, so we missed out. But anyway, we've got Szoboszlai, and that guy's... he's really, really impressing me, and yeah, fuck Bellingham at the moment. But yeah, just to summarise all this then, I guess, to me, this very much reminds me of how FSG were described when they bought Liverpool. If you look back on the articles when it came out that FSG bought Liverpool, they were described as a bottom of the barrel deal, and I kind of would describe this in the same way as well. So yeah, guys, anyway, leave me a comment down below, let me know what you think about all of this, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Yeah, we've got a game on Saturday against Tottenham. Hopefully it goes our way and we keep this great season going that we've already started off already. I'll see you then, guys.